So this is just going to be kind of a quick and dirty video here, not even bothering setting up the camera or anything for visual captures, but stumbling for topics to talk about for a video, I came across a list for the top 10 horror anime 2023 edition, and looking over the list, there's a few that have made it on the list that I've personally seen. There's a bunch that I haven't seen, and a couple that I kind of want to see, like Angels of Death, and a couple of others on here that like Answer seems pretty good. So we'll go ahead and jump into the list. At number 9, there's actually 4 entries at number 9. 2 of them I've seen. The first one is Tokyo Ghoul. That is a very interesting sort of, I would say it's a borderline horror anime. So I think putting it number 9 is kind of justified, because I feel like Tokyo Ghoul is kind of like right at the threshold of being a super creepy horror anime. It still has some sort of like creepy vibes to it, but it's certainly not the creepiest or even the darkest on the list here. The next 2 are Jujutsu Kaisen and Angels of Death, which I have not yet seen either of those shows, so I can't really comment on them or like tell if they're at a justified spots on the list, because I mean I feel like this list is very sort of, it's, I don't know, I feel like it's subjective. Like, this kind of stuff is subjective. Like, a lot of people might have put Tokyo Ghoul a little higher up on the list, but I definitely feel like 8 or 9 would be like a very good position for Tokyo Ghoul to be on this list. But I can't really speak for Jujutsu Kaisen or Angels of Death. And then coming in at the 4th number 9 spot is Ghost Stories. Now, I have not seen the original Japanese rendition or Japanese voiced version of Ghost Stories, so I can't really comment on how horrifying the original was, but the English dub of Ghost Stories is probably one of the best anime around, like the best English dub of an anime around. It went from a horror anime to a comedy just by redubbing it. So I feel like, I don't know, they put this at like 7 on the list of most horrifying. I guess that's justified. Another justified position. Then coming in at number 6 is Hellgirl and Kaden Restaurant. Again, 2 shows that I have not yet seen, but I might put them on the list after doing this video here. And then the 2 at number 4 are Toilet Bound Hanako-kun and GGG no Kitaro. I don't know if that's GGG or like Gi. It's Gege. I don't know how it's properly pronounced. There's a lot of shows with names that I don't know the proper pronunciation of them, but GGG no Kitaro is kind of rounding out the top first like 8 places on the list. Number 3 they put down as Answer. That wins 3rd place with 7% of people voting for it. Again, I've not seen it, but I do kind of want to put it on my list now for shows to check out. Another show that I did watch is Higurashi When They Cry. That starts off as a very kind of unassuming show. Like, you think it starts off kind of as a kind of a it puts on a facade, really, um, of it being like this just generic slice of life anime, and then by like the second or third episode of the show, that's when they start like, all right, something's up, something's off, something's different. I think it's about this guy who moves from like a big city. I don't know if it's Tokyo or any other city, and then he moves to like this Hinamizawa, which is sort of like this small rural village in like the middle of nowhere Japan. And the people who live in Hinamizawa are they seem like normal people, normal average, Japanese small town. And I mean small town. Like there's probably more rice fields than there are people who actually live in this village. That's kind of how small it is. And then as it goes, the show kind of progresses and moves on. That's when you really kind of start to kind of realize that shit, something's off, something's wrong. I highly recommend watching Higurashi When They Cry, because it's not like it's more of like a psychological thriller, and then it kind of just gradually moves into like a thriller, but it's amazing. It's really good. You have to watch it in order to know in order to like actually understand the show. I forget exactly what's going on, but there's like something in this village that's going on that this kid who moves there is trying to like kind of figure out. Like he wants to know about it, but everyone kind of keeps telling him, no, everything's fine. This is just your, run-of-the-mill, average Japanese middle-of-nowhere village that probably has more rice fields than people living there. But it's a really amazing show. I would highly recommend it. If you're into, like, psychological thrillers and psychological horrors and things that really, like... There's, like, very minimal jump scares in it. It just kind of like messes with your head a little bit, and that's what I really love about it. Is because it's like it starts off normal, and then like by episode 3 or 4, you're like, shit, something's going on. What's going on? So that's watch it if you haven't watched it yet. Watch it. Coming in at number 1 with about 10% of the votes that people voted for. I would even argue that Higurashi When They Cry should be number 1. But again, subjective. I didn't make the list. Somebody else did. Number 1 is Miruko-chan. I've not seen it yet, but I have no option but to agree with the list because I haven't seen it, so I can't really give any personal input on it. But I'll have the whole link, or the whole sort of tier list, linked in the description below, so you guys can kind of go read up about what more detail about the shows, and kind of make your own conclude. Because again, I feel like this list is very subjective. Like some people might say that Tokyo Ghoul deserves to be 10. Some might say it deserves to be 5. Whatever. Ghost Stories might be the number 1 best horror anime to somebody. I don't know. I'll let you decide on that. But, that's going to be it for this video, and I'll see you guys later.